Roses are a symbol of love and beauty, and at the Edisto Memorial Gardens in Orangeburg, South Carolina, that love and beauty is on full display. Located on the banks of the Edisto River, this garden is a great place to stop and enjoy nature. I am here today with the City of Orangeburg Superintendent of Parks, Jay Hires, who is an experienced and knowledgeable rosarian. Jay, thank you for being with us today.
Well, thank you for coming out, Morgan.
Yeah, first we want to get an idea of what you have here in the gardens. Just how many varieties of roses and what types of roses do you have out here?
Out here at the Edisto Gardens, we've got about 120 different varieties, representing anything from miniatures, hybrid teas, floribundas, grandifloras, old garden roses, for about a total of about close to 5,000 plants.
Oh wow, that's really great. And we can see here today that they're really in full bloom. What are some roses that are really special to this area? I understand there's one specific rose that's named after this garden.
Yes, we have one called Edisto. It's a mini flora, hybridized by Michael Williams, right from upstate of South Carolina. He named it for the Edisto River, which runs through the gardens in the city, and also for Edisto Memorial Gardens.
Okay. Well, what are some of the other roses? I understand there's some here that are really don't require a lot of care and they're really hardy to grow in our area.
Lady Elsie May, it is a shrub. As viewers can see, it is a very prolific bloomer. It will rebloom like this. Once it finishes this cycle, it will cycle about every 5 or 6 weeks.
Okay.
Another one we have that was new out for this year is Sunshine Daydream. It's a yellow grandiflora, lemon yellow in big clusters. Was very prolific even in July here last year. So it's usually hard to get a yellow with no black spot and to actually bloom in South Carolina in July.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up about black spot, because that is one of the biggest problems that growers of roses face in our hot, humid climate. What are some things that growers of roses at home, some steps they can take to try to successfully grow roses? As far as watering, pruning, fertilization, what would you recommend?
Recommending first would be to pick a rose that does well without a lot of care. As we said, so the ones we've just mentioned are fairly easy for the homeowner. Picking a spot that is out in the open, roses like lots of sun, at least good 6 hours of sun, lots of water, preferably drip or at the roots. The more you put water on top of the roses, the better chance you're going to have for spreading black spot and bringing it into your garden. And then of course fertilizer, any kind of good slow release, 10-10-10 type fertilizer is what they would really like.
Okay, well those are great recommendations for growers. One other thing I wanted to mention is the noisette collection that you have here. I understand it's very special to South Carolina and to the Edisto Gardens here in Orangeburg. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, the noisette rose is the only rose class throughout the entire world that can actually trace its beginnings to Charleston, South Carolina. It was crossed by John Champney, who was a rice plantation owner, and Philippe Noisette, who gave him one of his parent plants. When he crossed it, it did something at that time that roses weren't doing, which it rebloomed. Most of the roses were one-time blooming, and that was it.
Great, that's really a great feature that we have here to offer rosarians and rose enthusiasts here in Orangeburg. And I understand that besides just the roses at the garden, there's a lot more that this garden has to offer visitors. Can you tell us a little bit more about what the garden has?
Yes, most people think of Edisto Gardens as the rose garden, but it's got other smaller garden areas within the Edisto Gardens. Of course, we have the Horn Wetland Park behind us, which goes along the Edisto River. We have newly renovated a sensory garden, which is one garden designated for the visually impaired. And we've had some other groups that have done off to it, a Serenity Garden, and then we've also, the past couple of years, added the Angel of Hope statue and garden, which is for memorial for people that have lost children due to illness or other accidents.
Well, how can people find out more information about Edisto Gardens if they're looking to visit this place?
They're looking to visit, they can go on the city's website, which is orangeburg.sc.us. They'll even see a new feature we've added. We have the garden cam, which they can actually check and see sort of what the bloom status is of the Edisto Gardens on the website.
Well, that's exciting. If somebody's looking to make a trip, they can see if the garden is in full bloom before they come.
Exactly. That way it's not a wasted trip to see a bunch of green foliage instead of a lot of roses.
That's right. Well, it certainly is a beautiful time of year right now, and we appreciate you having us here at the Gardens, Jay, and appreciate all the hard work that you and your staff do here at the Gardens to make this place enjoyable and open to the public year-round.
Well, thank you all for coming.